you to continue pursuing this vision?
You know, a lot of things did actually. One is I'm going to start with my family. I don't know if I was maybe 4 or 5 years old when I watched my dad run for Flint Board of Education.
Yes.
And he was actually the first black that was elected, first African American elected to the Flint Board of Education. So I watched him go through that. And I remember some of the talk at home and around was, if you want to be part of making, sometimes you have to step out to make a change. You can't just sit back and talk about what needs to happen. Sometimes you have to step out and be part of making that change happen. Sometimes you have to take the lead on making that change happen. And that's what he showed me. And I saw him do it again when he built that medical clinic. He was a pediatrician. His office was on Saginaw Street, on North Saginaw Street. And he knew we needed health care in our area, in our community. So I watched him build that clinic, T. Wendell Williams Clinic on Saginaw Street. So those kinds of things were role model to me at a young age. Even when I think about my mother, she was the first black classroom teacher in Flint. So those things were important to me. I didn't know it at the time, but as I got older, I recognized the importance and the significance of those things that they had done and what they had instilled in us and taught us about what was important as taking care of home.
It's kind of like it's in your DNA already.
Well, maybe so. But that's how it got started. And then as I got involved in what was going on in the city, and I saw, when I saw what was happening or what wasn't happening, especially when I looked around where I grew up in other areas of the city where things weren't happening, I couldn't help but get involved. We had an emergency manager come in. I saw our voice taken from us. I saw no one speaking out for some of the issues and some of the concerns that we have. So that pushed me to want to take this step. We needed a voice. We needed someone to speak out on behalf of the people. There are areas of the city where we need other things going on. And I wanted to be part of making that happen.
Yes.
Ensuring that some of those things happen. So that was some of it.
What would you do differently than the current administration?
Well, I think I'd start with telling the truth and really informing the public, because there are some things that we haven't been informed about, or we've been given misinformation, wrong information. Let's talk about the water. That's one of the top concerns. And one minute we're told that the water's safe for us to drink, and then you go home and you open your mail and you get something from, saying can't drink the water.
Yeah.
There's still issues with it.
Leaving us confused.
And leaving us confused and making it so it's really difficult to believe in leadership, to trust in leadership. And that's one of the things that needs to happen. We don't have any faith in the leadership that we have right now. But when you're told misinformation, when you're told wrong information, when you're not told the truth about things or conflicting information, you don't know what. And also being more accountable.
Yes.
There hasn't been accountability about some of the finances and what's been going on. You look at, we had a village. We were supposed to get more police and fighters. I don't know what happened to that, and that's what we need to know. Where did that money go? Because we didn't get more police on the streets. We didn't get more firefighters. We didn't get them. So what happened to that money? Where did that money go? A lot of people are asking that question. You look at how we got into the financial problems we got into. Where did the money from the water and sewer fund go? It went other places, but there's been no accountability to us as to what happened to that money.
Yes.
And so that goes back to being open and honest and transparent and letting the people know what has taken place, where that money is, and using it when we get it for what we said we're going to use it for. That's what we need to be doing. Do what you say you're going to do. And if there's a reason that you can't, you need to let people know.
Yes.
You don't just brush it under the rug and say nothing about it, because that question is still out there and we're all still asking.
Once elected, how would you pair the mayor's office with the school system?
That's a good question, because the school education and the school system are very important to me, especially having gone through the public schools in Flint.
Yes.
And I remember what the public schools used to be like. I remember when people used to come from all over the country to look at our community school system because it was a model for others, and now you look at where we are today. That's a huge issue. And I know that the school isn't officially the mayor's responsibility, but I know we have a moral obligation, we have a moral responsibility to work with the schools and partner with the schools. And if we had clean water we could drink, use, cook with A.V.E in, if we had water we could afford, if we had neighborhoods, instead of just tearing neighborhoods down, if we were building them up, if we had public safety, businesses would come in, and when you have those things in place, that helps the schools, that supports the schools, that makes people want to be here, that makes people want to keep their children in the public schools instead of taking them out.
Yeah.
So if we could put those things in place, that's what makes the schools better. That's what makes them better. And those are some of the things that need to happen.
So that would fit in with like your list of top priorities once becoming elected?
That would fit in with it. Yeah, that would fit in with it because we've talked about water. We've got to do something about the water. We have to have water that we know is safe. I mean, we are not a third world country. Water is a basic need. So yeah, that's a priority. Actually, we can talk about food and water. Those are two basic needs, and we're scrambling to get both of them.
Yes.
We're scrambling, where do we go buy our food when the grocery stores are leaving?
Yes.
So yeah, that's a priority. I recognize that having a vibrant downtown is necessary for a city to thrive, but we have to look at all the areas of the city. There are other areas of the city that really need some help, that have been neglected. Like I said, I look at where I grew up. Martin School used to be right across the street. There was a grocery store. Hamady Brothers was on the corner of Saginaw and Ruth Street. There were businesses. There were small business owners. We had businesses in neighborhoods that we don't have anymore. That's a concern, and that should be a priority, to help small businesses get established and reestablished. We have to keep what we have, but we have to bring more, and we have to look at all of Flint, and not just part of it.
Yes.
So that's another priority. Public safety is another priority.
Oh, yeah.
And you look at what's going on. And people need to be aware, people need to know we don't have to go to Florida, and we don't have to go to South Carolina and Oklahoma and all these other places to see what's going on. There are things happening right here in the city of Flint. We need to have some public safety in place. We need to have local police in place. We need to do some things differently.
You touched base on public safety. What's your personal outlook on how the police engagement has been going on throughout the country, and a lot of different situations has been surfacing as of late, especially with black men? Like, what's your whole outlook on that?
Well, one thing is, thank God for cell phones, because that's taught us something. A lot of things have been picked up on tape by people taping things, videotaping, and bringing the whole story to light. I think one of the things we need to do is have police wearing the cameras so they can tape and see what's going on.
Like
and then a body camera, thank you. That's exactly what I think needs to happen, and I think it needs to happen. All of them need to be wearing them, so we can get two sides of the story. I know there are two sides to every story, but right now we get one. And so this would help both sides tell us the accurate story. We could see it. And in addition to body cameras, we need the microphones as well, because what the camera misses, the microphone will pick up. And we need them on more than just your body. We need them for the cars as well, around the cars, so we can hear what's going on.
I was say that, like you said, we want the entire truth.
We want the entire truth. And I know if I'm being taped, if you're being taped, you behave differently when you know you're being taped, when you know someone is going to see the real story.
Yes.
So I think that's really, really important. We're talking about safety. If we can have some of those things happen, that's what's going to bring people here. That's what's going to help our community. Because there's a ripple effect when you have different things in place. We're talking about public safety and what's been going on. You drive around certain areas and there's no lights. It's dark. We need street lights.
Yes.
We need street lights so people can see what's happening out there. So there's some things that we can do. But I just think that if we had those in place, that would change a lot. That would change a lot if we had body cameras and body mics and car mics so we could see what's going But I think that would tell the real story about how the police are engaging the citizens.
All right, well, it looks like we covered a lot of ground today in this interview. And I'll have to let you get back to take care of business. Is there any final key points you would like to cover or go over for, you know, the voters out there?
Yeah, I do have a couple more things I'd like to say. And one is, I believe in Flint. When people ask me why I was starting a business in Flint, I said because I believe in Flint. We have a lot of challenges, but there is so much opportunity out there. And that's what we have to look at, that's what we have to take advantage of, and that's what we need to work together to make happen, is all of the opportunity that's out there. We need to be involved in this process. We need people to be involved in the democratic process. Come out and vote. Let's make some change happen. Because I believe in Flint, you sound like you believe in Flint, and if we are working together, we can turn this city around. We know how great it used to be. It can be better than it used to be. It can be better than it used to be. Our people are our resources, and we need to keep them here. And we need to keep our young people here. Flint has a lot to offer. If we work together, we can take our city and make it great again. And I just want to let everybody know that I'm caring about Flint, and I am Karen Weaver. Come on out and vote.
Well, I appreciate your time.
Well, thank you. I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to talking some more.
Oh, yes.
I have a lot more to talk about because there's a lot going on.
My name is Chris Wilson, representing Artistic Visions, here with Karen Weaver, signing up.